well, lipstick, just barely any makeup. I look like crap at the moment, but I don't care because I'm not gonna go run in the bathroom to put on makeup. Well, I know some girls do that. Not gonna go run and do that just because I randomly happened to decide to record something. Just want to sort of like note it down, I don't know, somewhere there. So I'm making these egg thingies. Very messy kitchen at the moment. Yeah, pretty messy back there. Welcome to Annie's cooking show. Not really. I don't know how this is gonna turn out. Anyway, I decided to do something this morning to help my health. And I'm not sure if this is gonna go anywhere. Okay, so to get to the point, so I was having an epiphany that basically, well, I was in the garage last night finding some matches, and lo and behold, I found this water camera that I had been looking for a long time. And I also found a recording device. Oh my God, I cannot believe I found this. Just sitting in a box with these little tapes. And I had a recorder when I was about 20. And it was just after I had moved back to the US from Australia. It's so weird hearing 20-year-old me, yeah, talk about stuff, life and all that stuff, all the stuff in between. So anyway, I was listening to it, and most of it was just like, you know, random silliness or whatever. But there was one section, I kept listening to it for a little while. I was like, oh, what a bunch of crap. But at one point I started talking about like purpose and my purpose in life and how I wanted to, you know, at that time I wanted to do acting. Little did I know it was very hard to get into and very competitive and very difficult to succeed in. And if you are trying to live in LA on your own while paying bills and all of that stuff, you know, you either have to do waitressing or like, you know, some nighttime gig. Well, anyway, I know it's different now, but like back then, this was like the early 2000s. And, you know, there weren't like all these rich, young millionaire 14-year-olds making money online. Anyway, but I was going over purpose. Okay, I'm sorry for rambling. I was talking about how I wanted to do acting and I wanted to help people and I wanted to become more, hey, psh, psh, psh. Roxy, hi. I'm still not sure yet if, look at this face. Yeah, just, yeah. Anyway, and I thought, wow, you know, like, what happened? You know, I got so thrown off course so many times during the course of the last 20 years. And, you know, I was trying to think to myself, well, how was I an enemy to myself? if I was to really, you know, nip that in the bud, how would I really go about doing that? And it's not something that I just started to have kind of an epiphany on it, and wanted to record it. It's not, hey, psh, quit eating my shoes. It's not something that you can change overnight. It's not something like you can just flip a switch in your brain and just suddenly go, I'm not going to do that anymore. You know, because who knows how long these patterns of behavior have been existing there, whether they were borrowed from somebody else or it was just a matter of me never really disciplining myself or something like that. So, you know, what were the distractions? What, you know, like you can blame outside causes, or you can look at the fact that, well, you know, whether it was, you know, various factors playing different games in life, you know, looking for love, whether it was, you know, sex, alcohol, just, you know, wanting to fit in, or like loneliness, or just hanging out with friends all the time, or just not having enough sheer intention to push through to execute whatever I needed to execute, or find out what I needed to execute, or learn the skills to be able to execute what I needed to do to actually follow along with my purpose and achieve my goals. Because boy, I really got, I'm not just talking about acting. It's not just that. It's like doing something worthwhile with my life and being the person that I know I am, you know, being that person to other people and the world around me, and not letting, you know, it's like that whole, it's that whole thing of going A to B rather than A to Z to F to whatever, which is, you know, it is what it is. It's like, so I was thinking to myself, well, you know, the enemy to myself there, how I did this to myself. And, you know, was I just wasn't disciplined enough. When I was younger, I was always very fiercely independent, I guess you could say, but sometimes stupidly, because I, you know, thought I knew enough about what it would take to succeed and what it would take to do what I wanted to do, achieve my goals, and, you know, be an artist and do this and do that. I had all these ideas, and I thought I knew, or I thought I thought I knew what it would take, but I really didn't. I was way off on my estimation of effort to, you know, and then certain outside forces, I guess you could say, would come into my world, and then whether it was something I fixated my attention on, like, oh, I really want to find a husband and I want to start a family and I really want to do that whole thing, which that definitely has been a goal of mine for a long time. And I know I've got horrible lines in this lighting. So yeah, that really was a goal of mine for a long time. But I guess I just didn't go about it in the right way, and I didn't know, you know, there's many factors that go into it. But if I could pinpoint one or two things, what I've learned from it is really just that, like, you very often have to go much harder than you think you have to go in order to follow your purpose and get done what you want to get done. And yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say. So yeah, like lack of focus and lack of like full intention kind of a thing has been my you know, my nemesis. And lack of like, you know, just like running at full speed towards the finish line instead of just stopping to look at the flowers and stopping to look at the stopping to feel the because you know what, one day you'll get to the end and you'll realize you're too late because you didn't get the work done first. So work first, then play. I guess that's what my main point is here. Thanks for listening. So I hit rock bottom for me recently. And sometimes I think that people get attached to who they've been that has caused them to get into that rut. But I'm going to transform into a new version of me and not have the old version of me hanging around anymore. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I'm going to work on it and fight for it every single day until I get there. So I will try to document it along the way. You know, if you go around blaming other people for your situation, you make them the cause of it. You can't change other people, but you can change yourself. And it's a really, you know, I mean, the temptation is there to blame so-and-so, blame the government, blame the, you know, my mom, my dad, blame, you know, blame religion, blame, you know, whatever it is, you know, blame that friend who did that thing or whatever, you know. I believe that the majority of people are, you know, good, decent people. And, you know, but people make mistakes. But anyway, if you find yourself in a situation where you're just in a rut or you're just sick and tired of where you are, the only way that you can actually change that for the better for yourself, and for those around you is to have accountability and to take responsibility for what you did to put yourself there, to get to that point. You know, whether it's a long-standing pattern of behavior over your whole lifetime, whether it's, you know, there's always something that you can do about it. It's never too late to do better. So yeah, just that, you know, if you're just blaming others for your problems and situations, you're never going to be able to change those problems and situations because you make them the cause of them. You can't change other people. If you look at what you've done to cause your situation, how was I an enemy to myself? How did I, you know, what have I done with myself that led me to making certain choices, to, you know, behaving in certain ways which were not resourceful for me or for other people? What have I done about it? Then that puts the power back in your, back with you. And it, you know, enables you to actually be able to do something about it. So have accountability, take responsibility for your own shit. And, yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say. And I was just kind of looking at that and going, well, you know, there are some things in my life at the moment that I'm not satisfied with, and I'm going to work really hard to improve and change those things so that I can be of better service to people in my life and the world around me. Thanks for listening.